What is up, y'all? Welcome back to Lindsay's Life. Today I have an embroidery kit, and that is what we're going to be trying because it's just a new hobby and it's something that I've never tried before. So let's go ahead and get started. So the kit came with the hoop, the needle, the yarn, and the pattern, which is definitely what I needed because I bought a different kit that had no pattern. It was a cross stitch. It had entirely too many stitches. I didn't know how to learn them. It was definitely not a basic beginner cross stitch type thing. That's going to take a lot more work than what this is. So I decided to get something a little more simple so that I could try that out first. And this is technically an embroidery kit, but we're going to try it anyway. So first we have to put our material into our hoop. And it told me to take this all the way out. Okay, but I'm clearly doing something wrong. Maybe it's this way. It's for sure this way. Don't mind me just figuring this out one step at a time. Okay, so I have the pattern in here, and the instructions really don't give you a starting place, so I'm just going to start with this little loop right here on the bottom of the rainbow. And it is, where's my picture of this for reference? Here's my nice little picture. It's going to be blue. And it said that all of the string is 36 inches long, but to cut it in half before you start so that you don't tangle it. So I need to do that. Each string has 6 strands in it. And for this, we only need 3. So I'm supposed to pull all these apart and only use 3 of them. One, this kind of seems like a waste of time. Like, why? None of the pattern takes 6 strands, so I'm just not certain why this is the thing that you do. And I'll be quite honest with you, I think I've already messed this up because I can't get it untangled. Okay, so there's 1 strand, 2, I finally got them broken loose, now they're easier, and 3. And then it told me to put these back together, which I guess means that you could just use the other 3 that are still together. Now they need to be put through the needle. Okay, so I have this through now. Also on the instructions, where it kind of gave like a demonstration, for some reason it said to start in the middle and go one direction and then go back and do the other direction. I don't know why, but that is what we're gonna do. So it said to start in the back, and if I hold this towards my light, I can see where the line is. I'm gonna go a little bit underneath that because it said to make sure that you cover the line. Okay, then I pulled my thread out of my needle. It's back in now, don't worry. I'm gonna remain calm during all of this. How do I keep it from coming out? If I knot it, is that gonna mess it up? Because I'm just gonna do it, and then I'll just untie it if I have to. I'll just barely tie it, that way I can cut it if I have to. Anyway, okay. Then it said to knot it on the back side here. Update, should not have knotted it. Look at that, we have our first stitch. This is apparently called a satin stitch, if y'all were wondering. Okay, so somehow my thread that was back here where I started has gotten underneath some of these, but I think it's gonna be okay. I'm just gonna pray. Just gonna tie them together, that's probably fine, right? I'm gonna trim this up just a little bit so it's out of the way a little more. Now I have the other 3 strands from the original 6 that I pulled apart. I'm gonna use those. I don't want to jinx this, but maybe I found my new talent and this is what everybody's gonna get for Christmas. I'm saying it's looking pretty good. I mean, I know I'm not doing anything complicated, but oh my gosh, I almost pulled my thread out. I knew that was gonna happen because I didn't knot it. Oh my gosh, I just dropped my needle. Yeah, so anyway, I'm gonna do this a lot more. Basically between now and Christmas, it feels like, at the speed that I'm going. But I'll check in whenever I'm doing something different, because I'm just gonna do the rest of the blue and then the rest of these colors. And then when I start doing something different, I'll come back to y'all.
One eternity later.
Okay, so it is hours later, and that is not an exaggeration because I did like a color and then I took a break to eat lunch and then I did another color and then I just took a break and then anyway, it's hours later. It doesn't matter what I did and all that, but I'm ready to move on to the words down here. And this is where like different types of stitches come into play, which all of these were the same. They were all just called satin stitches, but we're going to do some back stitches and some tacked loops whenever we get ready to do the tassels on the bottom, but I'm going to do the words next. So that's what we're going to start with. For the B, it's again just the same satin stitches as up here, so it should be pretty straightforward. And these letters are filled in, so it's not going to be as crazy as trying to just do letters. Okay, so I have the top part of the B done, and what you should probably do is cut it and start the bottom one, but I'm just not going to do that because I don't want to have to waste more thread, so I'm just not going to. Also, just because I don't care what the back looks like. I do have some craziness going on the back right here. My string got crazy at one point and I just did my best to fix it, but you can barely tell on the front, and that's really only if you're looking at it or if you know what good embroidery is, I guess. I don't know, like I probably wouldn't notice that if I looked at something that my friend made. So for the E, we're going to do a back stitch, which means that you come up in one place and then come down and then go basically just backwards, back behind the first place that you came up. So I'm going to start in this corner, maybe. This is kind of where you need a little more direction in the instruction. I'll be quite honest, I don't really think that that matters on this E, but I'll do it. Okay, like the E is kind of cute. It needed some work, I'm not gonna lie to you. Since I still have blue on my needle, I'm just gonna go down here to the P so that I don't have to keep changing my color. Not bad. I kind of want to go ahead and go back and do the purple. That way I can get these filled in letters out of the way, because I feel like the other letters that are not filled in will be a lot more simple. So I'd like to do the more difficult ones first. Do y'all also do that? If you have multiple tasks to do you do the easiest or the hardest one first? Because I like to do the hardest one first and then just chill. By the way, all of these have been 3 strands so far. The only one that's not going to be 3 strands are the tassels, and that's going to be 4 strands. There is really no guidance on the A, so I'm really just going to wing this. And my peach colored string is a lot shorter than the other ones, and I'll be honest with you, I think that's because I cut it in half twice on accident. I think I just wasn't really paying attention, but it's okay, we can still use it. That's for sure not how the H was supposed to be done, but I took some creative liberty. Voila. Could my lettering use some help? Yes, absolutely, but this is my first time and that's okay. So now we're moving on to the tassels, which are going at the bottom of the rainbow, and we're using the white string, which is a little more inconvenient because it is 4 strands. So a regular piece has 6 strands in it. So whenever you're using 3 strands, there's already 3 strands ready for you on the next one. Unfortunately, that does not work with the white one because there's still 6 strands, but you need to use 4 of them, which leaves 2 of them left over. And I already lost my other 2 strands somewhere. They're on the, oh, here they are. They're way back here. So there's only 2 little pieces left. Anyway, I digress. So now we are going to do a tacked loop. So I'm gonna come out of here and I'm gonna form a loop and go down in the same spot. But I'm gonna leave a little loop like this, and then I'm gonna tack it, or tack over it. Oh, my loop is a little bit too big, y'all. It's okay, we can trim it up because we're gonna have to cut all the loops anyway. It's okay. And I'm just gonna do that all the way across the 2 bottoms of the rainbow. And this part is kind of difficult to see because it's all just white on white at the moment, and there's like loops in the way, and I don't know. It's just difficult for me to see maybe. And again, it's okay that my loops are not the same size because they're gonna get cut and trimmed to be little tassels. I just broke my string. Oh no. It's okay, we can come back from this. So to give you like a little bit of a peek of what's going to happen, I'm gonna go ahead and snip these, and then I'm going to finish this and I'll show you the end product. So that's what's gonna happen with all the tassels. They're just gonna get cut. And I'm gonna shorten them up a little bit because I made them a little long. And I'm gonna do that for the rest of it, and I will see you when it's finished. So it has been an entire day of me working on this off and on, but it's finally finished, and here it is. It looks like a disaster from the back, but once you hang it on a wall, no one would ever know. So I feel like this was a pretty easy beginning point if you're interested in trying embroidery. Your fingers will be sore because I'm not used to like holding a needle all the time, but I feel like it turned out pretty cute, and I'm pretty proud of myself because I did this in a day and I finished it, and it doesn't look that bad. I don't think, like, there's parts of it that definitely could use some work, but for a first attempt I feel like it went pretty well. So thanks for hanging out with me while I did this embroidery kit, and I will catch y'all next time. Peace out.